All right, our next speaker, this is a really interesting story. If you're interested in rehab loans, about doing rehab loans, he's not here to pitch his company. He's here to tell you about what his experience is. He's a major player. Merrill is an attorney, and he's also a hard money lender in Texas. Merrill came to our last event. I was so impressed with him and his business model. I said, you know, I want you to be part of our event. And he said, good. And guess what? I'm going to hire you to do some of our marketing. And we, just so happens, you know, we kind of hit a home run and got him in the Wall Street Journal. So please give a warm welcome to Merrill Kaliser, Longhorn Investments.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Merrill Kaliser. I'm a licensed attorney in the state of Texas. We have a couple title offices, a couple real estate investment funds, thanks to Leonard and John, and we're here today to talk to you about single-family residential. Let's see, we're going to go next slide. Thank you. One more. Basically, Leonard wanted me to keep it quick, so everything John said and George said, take a zero off, that's what we do. I mean, I'm kind of joking around a little bit, but when people talk about doing hard money loans on single-family residential, my partner Mike Hoffman and I, we looked into the business. The best business to start with, quite honestly, is the $80,000 to $100,000 loans. Those are the that's the bread and butter of our hard money loan business. And quite honestly, over the last 3 years, hard money loans have, trying to get a hang of this. Hard money loans have changed for single-family residential. When we had the tax credit 3 years ago, everybody was doing hard money loans to buy, rehab, and flip. It was great. Banks were loaning. People were getting $8,000 tax credit to close, first-time home buyers. Great market for us. It changed. The government took away the tax credit, and all of a sudden, buying, rehabbing, and flipping on these first-time home buyers, pretty much gone. So there's a new model, excuse me, choking on some candy. There's a new model, you're laughing. There's a new model that's out there that we are doing and that a lot of the other single-family hard money lenders are doing now. And it is basically loaning on the same properties, but to buyers and investors who are picking the properties up, rehabbing, and refinancing. Okay, so it's a little different than some of the things you guys have heard out here. You know, asset-based lending, of course this is asset-based lending, but we're also looking at the borrower's credit scores, the borrower's financials, the wherewithal of the borrower. These are very short-term loans. The average loan amount is average term is 3 to 6 months. You know, so you're gonna get your money back in 6 months. It's nice because it avoids some of the market depreciation that you have in some of the areas in the United States. Most of the markets aren't completely tanking in 3 to 6 months, so it's not a bad deal. I'm gonna briefly go through with you guys kind of what we look at with respect to doing single-family residential. Next slide. One more. My slides are a little out of order. Okay. First, which everybody has talked about, we look at the actual property. Location, 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 simple, self-explanatory. The amount of the loan, again, bread and butter. $100,000 loan or less is our, or most single-family hard money lenders' niche. That's the place they want to be at. Lots of loans at $80,000 to $100,000. You spread your risk. Good loan amount. Condition of the property. You don't want to be in the business of building properties. You don't want to be in this business of building houses. Don't mind refinancing. Don't mind being in the business of rehabbing houses, so long as the rehab isn't more than 40, 50%, 30, 40% of the actual acquisition cost. When you're looking at the property, this is part of the due diligence that John was talking about. We're looking at the property. Thank you. Dying here. Here you go, thanks. When you're looking at the properties, you want to make sure you have solid comps, both rental and sales. The exit strategy right now for most of the borrowers is to buy, rehab, and rent. However, stuff happens, their credit changes, they lose their job, they can't refinance out. You want to make sure there's an exit strategy on the sales side. And as the hard money lender, you may loan to own, excuse me. You have to be prepared to take the property back. So you want to make sure that the comps are in line, and you want to make sure you review those comps carefully. 3 to 6 months comps in that subdivision. Don't accept comps anywhere else. Okay. There are two types of borrowers that you're going to lend to. You're going to lend to an entity or to an individual. With respect to an entity, as the hard money lender, you just want to make sure that they're in good standing. They've got their corporate documents in place. You want to take personal guarantees of all the principals. Again, these are on hard money loans for borrowers that are buying, rehabbing, and renting. The reason you're looking at the borrower's financials, whether it's an entity or an individual, you want to make sure they qualify for the refinance. Next slide. And as far as individual requirements, if you're going to start out small, like everybody's talked about, you want to get into the business, and you're going to qualify these borrowers for your hard money loans, 1003 application, get it online. It's a Fannie Mae application. Basically, it's a snapshot of the borrower's financials. It allows you to pull the credit on the borrower. You want to look at the last 3 months worth of bank statements, proof of employment, 650 credit score. Why do you want to look at the last 3 months of bank statements? Because you want to make sure the borrower has enough money to actually make the interest payments during the 3 to 6 months. And you want to look at them carefully. Mike and I saw a borrower the other day, looked great, gave us a bank statement, I think, ending June 17th, and had something like $26,000 in a savings account with B of A. Well, you go back and you look at the month prior to that, and the balance was $15. The month prior to that, and the balance was something like $35. That's a red flag. Someone transferred money in on the eve of trying to get a hard money loan from us. So you want to pay attention to those things. Money was probably going to go right back out. We didn't make a loan on that deal. I'm going to get to this in a second because everybody talks about fees, fees, fees. What is unique about the market with respect to the single-family rehab market is lenders are loaning on a % of the after repair value. It's a little contradictory to some of the things you've heard here, but there's a difference between actual value and after repair value. After repair value, I'm going to buy a property for 50 grand. I'm going to put 20 grand in rehab. I have a detailed rehab estimate. I send that rehab estimate and the property to an appraiser. The appraiser appraises the property as if I do everything in that rehab. What is that property going to be worth in 3 months when I try to sell it? Appraiser comes back, says, property's going to be worth $90,000. Great, I'll loan up to, or the hard money lender will loan up to 70% of that $90,000. So you loan $63,000 on that $70,000 deal. Generally, your borrowers are coming to the table with 10 to 20%, sometimes a little more. They've got skin in the game. They've got exit strategy financing all lined up. These are very safe deals. Now, fees, fees, fees. Everybody talks about fees. You can charge 12 to 17% on it. You can because that's what everybody's charging. You get 2 to 6 points. The points are important. These loans are turning in 3 to 5 months. You get those points every 3 to 5 months. It's a really nice deal. You have $500 to $1,000 in junk fees. You get those every 3 to 5 months. Close out the loan, you do another one. And then there's obviously survey costs, appraisal, inspection. Bottom line, these are very, very lucrative deals. They're very short term. They're easy one-offs if you want to start like everybody's talking about up here to put together your own fund. They're great deals. If you have any questions, we'll be around to answer them. Thank you.
Oh, he's done. Oh, jeez. I said speed it up.
Hi. I can talk some more.
What was it, Bernie?
And by the way, Mike and I did call up Leonard, and we actually did tell Leonard we wanted to be big boys on the telephone. And Leonard got us interviews with the Wall Street Journal and has helped us put together a fund and has also helped revamp our website, which is getting enormous amounts of play. I have this helpful tools to acquire borrowers as part of the presentation. One of the things you have to do is you have to go find borrowers. There's a lot of competition. So we have online rehab calculators, write a book, explain to borrowers how easy it is to get hard money, iPhone apps. Borrowers love that. We charge them 99 cents, and kind of the joke is, hey, look, we'll refund your 99 cents when we close the loan. But you'd be amazed. And on the iPhone apps, it's great. They get to do their own calculations. A little button that says, email me. Well, it emails me when it emails them with the property address, the numbers they're looking at, and basically we pre-approve them online. So, part of it is, just went through the target borrowers you're looking for. Then you actually have to target the borrowers. And I think people will be talking about that later with respect to marketing and advertising.